From high atop the battlements of Castle Curmudgeon, where we use the wind to power our windmills and the sun to power our sundials, and for everything else we use good old-fashioned fire. Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all ships at sea. Welcome to the Blast Radius. Delighted you could join us this evening. Here's your golden age of Western civilization news roundup for the week ending the 2nd of May, 2025. Dateline Berlin, Monday, 28 April. The German states of Hesse and Bavaria announced this week they plan to begin what can only be called a political purge, whereby members of Alternative for Germany, the AfD, will be barred from joining the police and the civil service, and current members of the police and civil service, if they are found to be members of the number one most widely supported party in the country, which the AfD now is, well, they will be expelled from their jobs for harboring political views that are deemed unfashionable by the ruling globalist left establishment. The Federal Office for the Protection of the Constitution, yes, that's a real thing, as Orwellian as it sounds, has designated the AfD as a right-wing extremist organization solely on the grounds that they don't sparkly heart the last 10 years of mass third world migration that nobody ever asked them if they wanted. And so, if you don't sparkly heart open borders, well, that makes you a right-wing extremist. So your party has to lose its funding, its members have to be thrown off their job, they should have their civil rights severely curtailed. So to put it simply, if you are a member of the most popular party in Germany that happens to be slightly to the right of Karl Marx, then you can only be half a citizen at best. You don't get your full civil rights. And isn't it fun watching Germany repeat all the same mistakes that made them the instigators of the two bloodiest wars in all of world history? Because what happens when you take a popular, mainstream, middle-of-the-road party and try to outlaw it and shunt it off into the margins? Well, that is exactly how you create extremism where no extremism existed previously. If Bavaria hadn't tried to ban the National Socialists, would their views have been as extreme as they wound up being? Maybe, but it's impossible to know. Would they ever have had any need of a rabble-rouser like Mrs. Schicklgruber's little boy? Maybe, maybe not. What is it about the German character that makes them always invariably default to authoritarianism and political purges and mass censorship? And sure, instead of nibbling around the edges, let's ask the real, larger questions. Can the German people be trusted with democracy? And more importantly, is a unified German state a good thing for the larger world? For this reporter would submit that it is not. And I would further submit that the historical record will back me up on this. There was no nation-state called Germany until the end of the Franco-Prussian War in 1870. You had 3 kingdoms, you had a few principalities, and you had a collection of smaller duchies and margravates and electorates and so on. Within 45 years of that unification, Germany instigated the most horrific war in world history. Within another 20 years after that, they had instigated a second world war that was orders of magnitude more horrific than the first one. For 45 years after that second war, the issue of the partition of Germany and its capital city very nearly instigated a third world war that would have been far worse than the first 2 wars combined. So here is the big question. Has the wider world gained any benefit from a unified and democratic Germany? Because from where I'm sitting, they have not. The unification of Germany has arguably caused more death and human suffering than any other political event in the history of the planet, and I think the rest of us are entitled to be pretty damn sick of dealing with it. Now they are trying to ban the opposition party for having views that nobody would have seen as being remotely objectionable or controversial as recently as 10 years ago. I, for one, have had just about enough of German domestic politics burning down the world, and they appear to be going back down that same old road all over again. And when all the killing is finished and all the cities lie in ruins, who's going to be expected to go in and fix everything? We will. Again. So I'm stating my view right here and now, backed up by more evidence than I should need, that the German people cannot be trusted with having a unified country, and they cannot be trusted with a democratic form of government. I am not here to dig into the reasons why they are so bad at self-governance. I'm just here to say that they have lost the opportunity to try. I am here to say break up Germany before they can burn down civilization for a third time.